One of my subscribers has asked me to rebuild the Jacksonville Jaguars. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. I would appreciate that. But starting off for the overlook of the team, Trevor Lawrence, it's really surprising that he already comes with superstar dev considering the season he had last year. He's definitely not a bad quarterback, but giving someone superstar dev but also making them a 77 overall and them not being a rookie, it's questionable, I would say, but I don't think it's necessarily wrong. I think Trevor Lawrence being at a 77 is just about the right overall. I would say he deserves more of star dev. Travis Etienne getting superstar dev, though, is deserved. You got Gabe Davis, Devin Duvernay, Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas here. Christian Kirk, I believe he is going to be in the slot in this scheme. He is going to be in the slot. So with that being said, since Christian Kirk is in the slot, I'm going to move Thomas to the 1. Gabe Davis is going to be the 2. Then Kirk can play in the 3 because he is in the slots, of course. O-line looking pretty solid here. I mean, sure, Mitch Morse is old. And then Ezra Cleveland's all right. Brandon Scherf is great, but he's also old. You got Anton Harrison as well. Evan Ingram, very underrated tight end in the league. Defensively, D-line looking really good. Got Eric Armstead in the offseason. Josh Hines Allen got the rename probably because he was sick of being compared to quarterback Josh Allen for the Bills. Trayvon Walker, hey, just going to say this. Aiden Hutchinson, he had 5 sacks in his last game. That's all I got to say about it. The safeties, Andre Sisco, Darnell Savage, looking good. Tyson Campbell, I literally glaze this man every Jaguars rebuild. Why is he an 82 overall? Make this dude at least an 88 overall superstar dev. He is amazing. He is so underrated, and I hate the disrespect towards him. Even Tariq Woolen on the Seahawks, isn't he like an 84 overall normal development? EA does not know what they're talking about with that. This dude should be an 88 overall superstar development, but I'm just going to keep him at this. I'm not going to cheat and give him superstar dev, but either way, disrespect to Tyson Campbell is crazy. But for this team, overall, has a lot of youth to it. You like what you see with this team. Trevor Lawrence, of course, hopefully you can expect a little bit more in terms of the stat production here. He has a great offense around him with Travis Etienne, former teammate at Clemson as well. Evan Ingram is great. You got him a new receiver. O-line is solid here. Nothing crazy, of course. Defense, of course, as we just looked, was pretty solid as well. 83 overall team. So it's not too much of a rebuild, but more building around Trevor Lawrence. That superstar development is really going to help with this rebuild. Also, Brian Thomas, does he have a lazy eye or am I just bugging? We are 5-2, top of the division, as the Texans are also 5-2, the Titans are 3-3, and the Colts are 2-5. And I get asked this question in almost every one of my rebuilds: what are the schemes and playbooks you run? These are the best schemes I find. You can try base 3-4 with the Atlanta playbook. That sometimes works, but I always switch to a 4-3 because it's just so much better in Madden. And for the scouting national focus, Tyson Campbell's going to need some help, so we're going to focus the position to defensive back. For the players ready to negotiate, Andre Sisco, I thought he was like 27. I don't know why, but 24 years old. He's interested with the team. Star development, absolutely. 5-year deal, $6 million a year. And he says no for now. I want to make sure I get that. Cam Robinson, he seems like the franchise left tackle. I thought this was honestly going to be more money. And then also offensive lineman start regression around 31, I believe. So I'm honestly fine if he's the long-term left tackle. He resigns on that. Huge interest with the team. Mac Jones can walk. We love you, Daddy Mac, but I cannot re-sign you. You just don't even have an interest with the team. Brandon Scherf will probably regress, so I'm going to wait on that contract a little bit. All these other extras I don't really want. Devin Lloyd and Trayvon Walker, I'm probably not going to accept their 5th-year options just because they both have an interest with the team, so both want to keep them. So I'm just going to avoid their options and just sign their contract regardless. 12-5 here as we take top of the division. We get a 4 seed, and the Texans missed the playoffs at 10-7. You love to see it for our division. Stats and awards: Trevor Lawrence looks like a top 5 quarterback, 4th best offense in the NFL. Defensively, 11th here. Did he win league MVP or close to it? He got 5th for league MVP, even though he was top 3 in passing yards, passer rating, and 4th in passing touchdowns. 14 interceptions, but still holding a top 3 passer rating is kind of crazy to me. Still an amazing season despite the interceptions, but either way, 39 touchdowns, almost 4,600 yards, and 110 passer rating. Travis Etienne, no fumbles, 11 touchdowns, 4.5 per carry, 1,100 yards. Good season from him. Great season, actually. Christian Kirk, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. He seems like a baller. Hopefully he gets superstar development for that. Brian Thomas has 7 touchdowns, 900 yards in his rookie season. That's great to see. Gabe Davis, 10 touchdowns, 900 yards. 874 yards and 6 touchdowns for Evan Ingram as well. Defensively, Devin Lloyd, 109 tackles for a loss, 13 for Trayvon Walker, 13 for Eric Armstead, sacks, 17 for Josh Hines Allen, my bad, and then Trayvon Walker breakout year, double-digit sacks, 11 sacks for him, 9 for Eric Armstead, 2 for Foyesade Oluokun. Interceptions, 5 for Foyesade Oluokun, 3 for Ronald Darby, 3 for Devin Lloyd, and then safeties on the team is 1 for Travon Walker. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Hopefully Travon Walker gets superstar dev. He had a really good year there. Same thing with Christian Kirk. But can we beat the Buffalo Bills to go into the divisional round? And the answer is we do not. We are a first round exit here against the Bills. And how did they beat us? It was, let me see, 17-35. Really? Only 17 points from our team? That is unfortunate. And the Dolphins beat the Niners in the Super Bowl with Tua's concussion. I'm sure the AI didn't take that into consideration, but Tua's concussion also wins him the Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen wins the league MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year, but there are no awards here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. In the AFC South, Case Keenum, Danico Autry, and Joe Flacco all retire. For the team upgrades, Trevor Lawrence goes to Superstar X Factor, goes from a 77 to an 86 without the boost, of course. 86 overall improviser. I love that EA finally did something about this XP. Whenever a player has a good year, they jump in XP rather than just giving them 2 XP and then calling it good. Yes, a rare occasion of Vic glazing EA. Christian Kirk goes up to Superstar Dev. You love to see that. Evan Ingram goes to Superstar X Factor. You love to see that as well. Defensively, Travon Walker, he had a safety. He had 13 tackles for a loss, and he had 11 sacks. I'm giving this guy Superstar Dev. If you want to complain, I don't care. But for the rest of the team, Muma here, Chad Muma gets Star Dev. Anyone else with the upgrades? Ronald Darby, I believe, gets Star Dev. I believe he only had normal development before, but great year for the team. A lot of progression, especially with this youthful group we have. And for the team re-signings, Andre Cisco rejected our last contract. Let's just do player-friendly 4-year deal, about $10 million a year. He re-signs on that. Devin Lloyd, Travon Walker, I'm not going to accept their options. Again, I would rather just pay out their contracts. Brandon Scherf only goes down 1 overall, so I'm fine with giving him a 1-year contract. He re-signs with the team. Everyone else here I'm not interested in, and I'm not going to be participating in free agency, even though I do have $19 million in cap room, because again, I have to pay Travon Walker, and I have to pay Devin Lloyd, and of course, Trevor Lawrence is one of the top paid QBs in the NFL. Oh, it's a new QB market. I don't care if it's a new QB market. It was a terrible contract, but regardless, let's move into the draft. Dalton Groves here out of Florida State, 5'11", 204, zone archetype, elite acceleration, great speed, great strength, solid change of direction, A catching, A press, B zone coverage, D man coverage. I think I'm going to take him here. The other guys didn't look too great. I don't like how you can't just scroll up and down through the draft players using the triggers, but I guess EA removed that. I don't know why, but Dalton Groves, I don't know why. It's just an ick for me. Hidden Dev, 93 speed, 95 acceleration, 89 change of direction. He looks great, and he will start right next to Tyson Campbell. In round number 2, picking up a depth defensive tackle, Marquise Bass here. Hidden development, 6'4", 286, 88 strength, 80 speed, 81 acceleration. Very athletic for a defensive tackle. Only C awareness and F power moves, but he does have A play rec and B finesse moves. After the draft, Dalton Groves is a 76 overall. That's a great overall. Marquise Bass, though, only 69 overall. Nice. But either way, only 69, not great, but he does have the hidden development. Got this guy in the 3rd round, defensive back, Piercy Grubbs here. Only a 70 overall, normal development, than all these other extras I didn't pick. Now, this is the team after the draft. Offense looks relatively the same. We're going to move Brian Thomas back to the 1, and then Gabe Davis back to the 2. Same format as last year. Worked pretty well last year despite us being eliminated in round 1. Bass is going to move to the number 2 in year 1. Groves is going to move to the number 2 as well. Sure, why not put him as backup safety? Get him as many reps as possible. Specialist-wise, Groves is also in the slot. Everything else looks good here. You love to see it. Year number 2, let's see what we can do. 4-3 at the midseason mark as we are 3rd in the division as the Texans and Colts are taking it over us right now. And we have a game day challenge here. Travis Etienne, 125 rushing yards and a touchdown. And to increase his development trait, I guess development trait upgrades are much easier to do now. And for the players ready to negotiate, Travis Etienne doesn't want to be here. He wants to be a historic champion. I mean, should we wait till the end of the year? I think he's only going to progress in overall. I might as well just overpay for this. And he wants a better fit. I gave him the most amount of money I really could. He says no. Travon Walker will gladly give him his contract. 5-year deal, $20 million a year for him. He resigns as a superstar defensive end for us. Evan Ingram, he is older and he wants a 4-year contract. I'll do 2 years, buddy. $15 million a year. Up the years and I'm back. Dude, you're a 30-year-old tight end about to turn 31. No. Christian Kirk, I want him back. 4 years, again, he's about to hit regression. Can I drop this to 2 years? and then just increase the money. Actually, let's do 1 year and then just increase the money. I mean, he's already getting paid like $20 million a year in real life. So, I mean, I guess he doesn't want to accept that either. Devin Lloyd, I want back on the team. Let's do a 5-year deal with him. He's already 26. He resigns. Finally, someone with common sense here. And then Devin Duvernay can walk. Chad Muma, I didn't already know that he was already this old, but he's nice depth if he can actually sign to this. I'd actually like that. I mean, he's a starter right now, but hey, he resigns. I'm cool with that. I have limited amounts of money, including the contracts I just offered, so I'll wait on that for now. And for the scouting national focus, I don't really know what I want, but having a good amount of defensive tackles definitely isn't a bad move, especially since Eric Armstead is already in his 30s. And here we are in the playoffs once again, 11-6. We didn't take the division here as we are second in the division as the Colts take it at 13-4. And I just remembered I forgot to look at Travis Etienne's breakout challenge. I do that every time. Trevor Lawrence looks like a baller again. I'm sure he threw a lot of interceptions, 3rd in offensive yards and 19th in defensive yards, yearly awards. Where is he? Wow, not even here, so I'm assuming he threw a lot of interceptions. Well, look who guessed it. 18 interceptions is outrageous, but again, I'm not going to give up on him. He is a 90 overall X factor. I'm not just going to leave him in the dust. 106 pass rating still, 37 touchdowns, 4,500 yards. Travis Etienne with 1 fumble this year, but 16 touchdowns, 4.8 per carry, 1,300 yards. He is amazing. Receiving-wise, Christian Kirk, 77 receptions, almost 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Evan Ingram, 7 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, almost 100 receptions as well. Brian Thomas, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Gabe Davis, 9 touchdowns, 800 yards. Travis Etienne putting in some work in the receiving game as well. Devin Lloyd with 101 tackles for a loss, 17 for Josh Hines-Allen, 16 for Trayvon Walker. Sacks, 26.5 for Josh Hines-Allen. Does that break the NFL record? Trayvon Walker with 16 sacks and 16 tackles for a loss and 71 total tackles. Dude should definitely get X Factor for that. Then Eric Armstead with 11.5 sacks. Hopefully he gets superstar dev for that. And Josh Hines-Allen breaks the record for the most sacks in a single season. Wow. 26.5. It only says 26. I don't know why EA never fixes that, but whatever. For the interceptions, Tyson Campbell has 3, 2 for Darnell Savage, Andre Sisco, Antonio Johnson. Dalton Groves, how did he do? 93 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, interception. Not bad. 6 deflections for him, though. 11 deflections for Tyson Campbell, 8 for Savage, 7 for Lloyd, and then 6 for Antonio Johnson. And Groves here, I thought it said Graves for a second. I was like, no way. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Tyson Campbell and 1 for Antonio Johnson. Who is Antonio Johnson? Is he the backup safety? Can we beat the Baltimore Ravens in the wildcard round? I doubt we can. We're on the road here. And the answer is no. We do not beat them. To be expected. Let's move into the offseason. And the Packers prevent the Dolphins from going back-to-back Super Bowl wins. Jordan Love wins the Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson wins the League MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. EA needs to fix that. Josh Hines-Allen, Defensive Player of the Year. He just set the season record for the most sacks in a season. He should have won League MVP, but I guess not. And then that's the only award for the Jaguars. In the AFC South, Brandon Scherff retires. For the team upgrades, Travis Etienne does go to Superstar X Factor. You love to see it. Trevor Lawrence is up to an 89 overall without the boost. Mitch Morse goes up to Superstar Development. You love to see that. Defensively, what do we have? Trayvon Walker does go to Superstar X Factor. How does Josh Hines-Allen not go to a 99 overall after having that type of a season? Groves only comes with Superstar Dev. That's fine with me. Everything else looks good. And yeah, Antonio Johnson is the 3rd string strong safety, and he's still getting numbers. I don't know how. Is he a sub linebacker? Yeah, he's the 3rd string sub linebacker, so I don't know how that works, but okay. For the team upgrades, this is my problem with not paying him earlier. I paid him as much as I could. Went from, what, 17 million a year to now around 20, 21 million a year. Make the offer to Travis Etienne, and he just doesn't want to sign. I'm giving him very player-friendly money. You think I'm going to let you walk? No, I'm going to tag you. Evan Ingram, you are smoking crack if you think I'm going to give you a 4-year contract. I'll do a 2-year deal, increase your salary a little bit, $15 million for 2 years. He resigns on that. That's more than reasonable. Christian Kirk dropped from an 86 to an 83. But he still gave me 1,200 yards and double-digit touchdowns. It's not like I can ignore that. Neutral deal, I don't want to give him 3 years. I'll pay you like a boatload for 1 year, but that's like the most I'm going to give you. Let's increase this bonus to about $18 million for 1 year. I think that's more than fair. He resigns on that. Anton Harris, absolutely. Do I accept his option or do I just pay him? I'll just pay him. I'd rather do that. Everyone else here is just a bunch of extras. Mitch Morse, I do like that he got superstar depth. He just has no interest with the team. He doesn't like our scheme fit. I'm not going to change it because we're winning games. He can walk. Logan Cook doesn't want to be here. I'll sign a new punter. And then Travis Etienne, absolutely, you're getting tagged. For only $15 million, you wanted $20 million. Hell yeah, that's a lot cheaper. $17 million, I need to go sign a new punter. But other than that, I'm just going to skip to the draft. And the only person I got in free agency was, of course, a punter in Jake Carr on a 5-year deal. Long-term punter. I understand I have $15 million more to spend in free agency, but I really don't need any of these guys. I don't need Joe Thuney, don't need Zadarius Smith. I mean, sure, maybe depth at defensive back. Kendall Fuller wouldn't be bad. I've actually just convinced myself into it. 1 year, $7 million really isn't that terrible. Does he accept this? He does not. Never mind. We're just getting the punter. Ooh, Benjamin Ware here, defensive back. I just lost Ronald Darby. I need a number 3. Groves will probably still stay in the slot. A zone coverage, B catching, B press. He is 6'3", 187 out of Florida Atlantic University. Great speed, great acceleration, elite agility. Being 6'3" with all these stats, really nice to see. He ran a 4.38 at his pro day. Benjamin Ware here out of FAU. What will you have? A+ pick, and he's going to be a hidden development, 93 speed, 93 acceleration. Only 84 jumping at 6'3" is kind of crazy, but still, he looks great. And then in round number 2, replacing Mitch Morse with a new center, Darrell Wallace here out of Auburn, 6'4", almost 300 pounds, hidden development, 86 strength, 77 acceleration, A pass block power, more A pass block. He's a pass block archetype. Not very good at run blocking, but it is what it is. And then in round number 3, picking up a new guard to replace Brandon Scherf, who retired, Marcus Graham here out of Auburn as well. I guess the teammate of the center we just drafted, 6'5", 304, hidden development, 86 strength, 76 acceleration, pass blocking archetype as well. Now this is the team after the draft. We do have some regression going on in the interior offensive line, of course, leaving, and then Evan Ingram leaving, got Christian Kirk going down. But either way, once again, Brian Thomas, we're going to put at the 1. I'm forcing him to be successful. He's not putting up the numbers I want him to at the number 1. Kirk's going back into the slot. May need to draft a new receiver in this next season. Defensively, Ware is a 78 overall. You love to see. I guess the AI drafted a backup safety because I didn't draft that guy. Ware is going to get as many reps as he possibly can. And then Bass here is going to move back to the number 2. I need more defensive tackles. Didn't really pick that up in this previous draft, but I guess Ware is going to be a 6'3" slot. That's interesting. Everything else looks good. Once again, only an 86 overall back-to-back years because we did lose some players on the offensive line here. Hopefully, we can continue to improve here. Year number 3, let's hopefully get a playoff win this year. 6-1 at the midseason mark. We are top of the division, currently holding the 1 seed in the AFC. Scouting national focus, I'm going to do wide receiver to replace Christian Kirk. And then for the contract negotiations, Travis Etienne, just accept the contract. $22 million a year. Finally, he resigns. Overpaid for him. But Gabe Davis, I mean, he hasn't been bad for us for sure. Honestly, might as well keep him. He may regress a little bit, but I am going to be losing Christian Kirk, so I got to keep Gabe Davis. I'm not re-signing Christian Kirk. He's going to drop to like an 82 or an 81 overall. He's going to want a lot of money. Don't want him. Anton Harrison wants $20 million a year. I'll re-sign him. He's a franchise tackle for us. Ezra Cleveland, 28 years old. I'll do a 3-year contract with him, $10 million a year. I'll sign him back. Darnell Savage, I don't mind, but he's already 29? I thought he would be like 26, dude. Dang, I don't know now. He's probably going to drop to a 77 by the end of this year. Tank Bigsby, I forgot you existed. I don't really need you on my team. Everyone else here, Eric Armstead, I wouldn't mind, but he's going to be 33. All these other extras don't want. Probably will accept the option for Brian Thomas. Yeah, all these other guys I'm just not really that interested in. Maybe Christian Kirk at the end of the year. And here we are in the playoffs as we are the number 1 seed, 15-2, top of the division, of course, and top of the conference as well. Stats and awards, Trevor Lawrence, top 2 in passing touchdowns and passing yards, 3rd in passer rating. That has to be MVP. 2nd, really, to Josh Allen. Number 1 offense in the NFL. Defensively, 19th. We took the AFC over Josh Allen. We had 10 interceptions, 120 passer rating, 42 touchdowns. What possibly did Josh Allen have better than us? Josh Allen, 3 less interceptions, worse passer rating, less touchdowns, less passing yards. His rushing had to be astounding. Yeah, 11 rushing touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence had 9 rushing touchdowns and more rushing yards. This is a snub. This is a snub. Trevor Lawrence has more total touchdowns. Sure, 3 more interceptions, but still a better pass rating, better passing yards, more rushing yards. What am I missing here? He won the AFC too over Josh Allen. What am I possibly missing? Josh Allen also got sacked more times, and then some people will say, oh, that's not a quarterback stat. It is a quarterback stat. He got sacked more times than Trevor Lawrence, who only got sacked 21 times. What am I missing here other than 3 more interceptions and then Josh Allen having 2 more rushing touchdowns, but not more total touchdowns? Trevor Lawrence was snubbed for league MVP. Travis Etienne, 1 fumble, but 16 touchdowns, 5.3 per carry, 1,300 yards, almost 1,400 yards. Trevor Lawrence, 9 rushing touchdowns. Still crazy to me how he got snubbed. 13 touchdowns, 1,200 yards from Christian Kirk. I think I have to re-sign him. This is an amazing year. Once again, Brian Thomas finally breaking that 1,000-yard mark. 9 touchdowns for him. Evan Ingram, 7 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. Gabe Davis, 8 touchdowns, 800 yards, almost 900 yards. Devin Lloyd with 106 tackles for a loss, 14 for Josh Hines Allen, 11 for Trayvon Walker, 10 for Eric Armstead, sacks 19.5 for Josh Hines Allen, and then 9 for Trayvon Walker, 7 for Eric Armstead, 3 for Chad Muma, okay, and then 12 interceptions for Darnell Savage. What the hell? I've never seen that in my life. Okay, so he didn't set the record. Night Train Lane did in 1953, but still, Darnell Savage, 12 interceptions. I've never seen that. So it looks like I have to sign Darnell Savage regardless of his age now, because that was crazy that I did that. Deflections, Fosad Alucon 9, Darnell Savage still had 8 deflections, and then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And in the divisional round, we will be facing the 11-6 Denver Broncos. If we lose this, I'm going to be mad that we start 0-3 in the playoffs. We do not. Here to face the 10-7 New York Jets to possibly go to our first ever Super Bowl appearance for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the New York Jets no longer have Aaron Rodgers. They have a new starting quarterback, auto-generated quarterback, but it's a 3-3 start, 10-3 start, as now it's 9-10. I guess we tried to go for 2 there because I know we have a good kicker. 12, 13. Wow, that 1 point's really going to screw us, huh? 20, 27-13. Good for us. We are balling 34-13. Defense holding strong, even though it's only 19th ranked in the league. Offense is ranked number 1 in the league for a reason, and we will be moving on to the Jaguars' first ever Super Bowl appearance as Cliff Bowles is the new Jets quarterback. Here we are to face the 9-8 Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. And for the team upgrades offensively, it is surprising that Christian Kirk does not have superstar X factor after the seasons he's had. And then our interior offensive linemen doing well. Both have star development, 99 overall for Lawrence and Etienne with the boost. Defensively, Darnell Savage goes up to superstar dev after his 12 interception season. Well deserved. No other upgrades for the team. Where here is a star development. And let's see if we can beat the Philadelphia Eagles to give the Jacksonville Jaguars their first ever Super Bowl win. Here we are against the Eagles. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for the team. They're going to punt again. Then we're going to strike again 14-0 with the number 1 offense in the league and the snubbed league MVP. 21-7 here against the Eagles. 21-14. Still keeping a tight game. 24-14. 2-score game. Hold the ball. Huge run from Etienne. And that will seal it. Your Jacksonville Jaguars will win their first ever Super Bowl in history to the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles fans in shambles as they are 0-2 in recent years in the Super Bowl, but this will be a successful rebuild. I'm not going to lie, so far this has been a really easy rebuild considering Trevor Lawrence and Etienne both started with superstar development, but still, there's 1 more year left. Let's see if we can go back-to-back. And your Super Bowl MVP is Trevor Lawrence despite only having 1 touchdown. I thought it would be Travis Etienne, but Josh Allen, the guy who won the league MVP, even though it should have been Trevor Lawrence, wins league MVP. Doug Peterson wins Coach of the Year, and there are no other awards here for the Jaguars. In the AFC South, Shaq Mason, Ted Carson both retire. Carcass, my bad. But either way, Brandon Scherf retired too early, 1 year too early to get his ring. For the team re-signings, I'll accept the option for Brian Thomas. Christian Kirk, despite his age, I can't ignore how good of a season he just had, so we're going to increase this back to, let's do 11 million for 1 season. I mean, that's really not bad. Well, it's 2 years for him. He's going to resign. And then Darnell Savage, despite his age, I can't ignore what he just did. 12 interceptions is outrageously good. I'm going to overpay for him, do a 2-year contract for him. He resigns with the team. Tank Bigsby, honestly, sure, dude. I have the money. 2-year deal for him. $4 million. I'm feeling generous after that Super Bowl win. Eric Armstead, can I pay him? Probably not. Yeah, definitely not, even if I didn't pay Tank Bigsby. I'm going to have to draft a new defensive tackle. All these other extras I don't want. Let's skip to the draft. In the first round, picking up depth at middle linebacker, because why not? Daquan Harvey here out of University of South Florida, 6 foot, 250 pounds, hidden development, 87 speed, 91 acceleration, A awareness, B play rec, and B tackle. And after the draft, Harvey is a 74 overall. Got these 2 defensive tackles in the later rounds. They're both normal development, so I didn't really show them, but 69, 68, I'll probably sign a new defensive tackle then. From the 4th round on, I didn't really draft these guys. So in free agency, picking up 74 overall, BJ Hill, just as a filler player. Now this is the team moving into the 4th and final season. It's been a great run here for the team. And then Christian Kirk playing at the 3 finally. Brian Thomas, I keep giving you chances. He's been solid for us. Not as good as I hoped, but still he's had back-to-back 900-yard season, then a 1,000-yard season the previous year. 89 overall team. Offensive line is looking great, and I guess they cut B.J. Hill, which is super frustrating, but I'm not going to go into free agency to fix it. But either way, I really like the secondary we got here, and then Ware is doing pretty good. Harvey is 75 overall. Specialist-wise, Kirk is still in the slot. Everything else looks good. Let's move Bass up. And Davis, Harvey, everything else looks good. 89 overall team. Let's see what we got for the 4th and final year and just skip into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs as we finish 12-5, top of the division and the conference. Once again, surprising that we take the conference at 12-5. Stats and awards, Trevor Lawrence, please don't get snubbed again. Come on, don't get snubbed. Dude, he's getting snubbed. He is 1st in passing yards and then 4th in passing touchdowns, 4th in pass rating, best offense in the NFL, 14th best defense, 12 interceptions, sure, but oh my gosh, the rating is good. Mahomes did have a better season. Never mind, I'll shut up. Better rating, less interceptions, more touchdowns, yeah. Either way, he should have had it last season. Travis Etienne, 1 fumble once again, 11 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry, 1,100 yards. Huge downturn from the previous season, but still a good season. And then Christian Kirk, 19 touchdowns, 1,400 yards, 100 receptions. If we make it to the Super Bowl, this deserves X Factor. He continues to ball in the slot. Brian Thomas, only 3 touchdowns, but 1,100 yards. Gabe Davis, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. Evan Ingram, 9 touchdowns, 800 yards. Defensively, Devin Lloyd, 108 tackles for a loss, 13 for Trayvon Walker, 9 for Hines Allen, 9 for Marquis Bass, and then sacks, 18 for Hines Allen. He's been balling this entire rebuild. 8 for Trayvon Walker, 5.5 for Bass. Interceptions, 3 for Darnell Savage, 2 for Devin Lloyd. Safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. And we're going to be playing the 10-7 Miami Dolphins to see if we can go back-to-back to conference championships here. And the answer is we do. Here to face the 11-6 Buffalo Bills. I'm just going to simulate to the Super Bowl. We've already won a Super Bowl, so let's see if we can go back-to-back here. What does the AI decide? It decides, drumroll please, that we go back to the Super Bowl here to face the 9-8 Chicago Bears. And Caleb Williams is a 99 overall superstar development quarterback, superstar X Factor for the Bears. For the team upgrades, Christian Kirk does go to superstar development. No surprise there, 99 overall for Lawrence and Etienne. Once again, O-line, everything else looks good. 91 overall team with all the boost. Harvey is a star development. Any other upgrades for the team? None that I can see. Upsetting that Campbell never got to superstar dev, but 91 overall team. Let's see if we can beat the 9-8 Chicago Bears to win back-to-back Super Bowls in this simulation. Here we are against the Bears. Huge first play pass for them. 7-0 start for the Bears as we are struggling on offense. Finally put 7 on the board in the second quarter. Our defense is holding up very nicely. 13-7 against the Bears. We open up half with the ball. 21-7. Got that 2-point conversion. 28-7. Defense holding so strong against the Bears, even though it's only 19th in the league. Best offense in the NFL, 28-14, as your Jacksonville Jaguars, who have never made or even appeared in a Super Bowl before 2 years ago in the simulation, have just won back-to-back Super Bowls. And this will end off the rebuild. What a way to end it. Back-to-back Super Bowls. Trevor Lawrence, 260 passing yards, 76.5% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. He will most likely win the Super Bowl MVP with no interceptions and 127 pass rating. And here we have your back-to-back Super Bowl MVP winner, Trevor Lawrence here. And then any other awards for the Jaguars? No. As the Jaguars, back-to-back Super Bowl champions, back-to-back, of course, AFC champions. And that will be the end of the rebuild. I thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you guys like and or subscribe if you guys did make it this far in the video. Let me know which team down in the comments below you want me to rebuild next, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.